Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaitlyn. I'm 35 years old. I live in Maryland and I have been sharing and documenting everything there is on my journey to becoming a single mom by choice. If you're new here, I completed an egg retrieval to create embryos last October and I was able to freeze 6 embryos and I'm so excited for that. I was originally planning on a transfer in December and then life happened. I'm gonna link that video to get you all caught up above in the cards as well as down below in the description box. But life happened and I was in a management role. I had met someone and everything was going really great. And then I ended up having to transition back into my old sales role, which changed my schedule. That relationship didn't work out, unfortunately. And I have just been kind of getting readjusted and reacclimated to being in my sales role and working weekends. So just trying to figure out what's next. I had an opportunity to relocate to be back in a management position, and that still does exist if I want it, but I'm not 100% convinced that I want to up and leave Maryland and my home. So one of the videos that I've gotten requested a lot is actually just all about logistics. How do I plan to do this as a single mom by choice? And I'd love to tell you I have it all figured out and I know exactly how it's going to go down, but that's not real life. I'm sure as time goes and as my life evolves and as baby gets here, things are going to change probably 100 times. But I think when you're in the thinking and trying phase, you like to have some type of a concept of what your life is going to look like and how are you going to do it, right? Semi figured out, or at least have an idea. Otherwise, that's where you need to start. So, as I mentioned before, I'm originally from Maine. I moved to Maryland to go to school here and then got a job and stayed. My entire family is still up in New England in Maine. So, I don't have family here. My mom has talked about moving down when I have kids to help and support and just be part of her grandkids' lives. But by the same token, my grandparents are still living and she's still working. And there's a whole other layer of that and her just uprooting her life as well. My dad plans to move to Florida. So I'll have family spread out. With that being said, I do have a very supportive family and they are so excited for me to give them their first grandchild. And I know that they're going to want to be involved and they are so supportive. And I know that if anything were to happen financially, I can lean on them. Not that I want to. I want to be able to put myself and my child in the best situation possible where I do not need to lean on them, but I have an amazing, amazing family. So in order to keep this video from not being so long and so much of a rant, I wanted to break it down to finances, what I will be doing postpartum, and kind of how I see that delivery taking place as of right now, and in terms of doulas and night nurses and things like that. And then I'll also break it down into childcare once I go back to work. And then we'll kind of wrap everything up. And I think that's where I'll leave it for today. Just because there's a lot to this particular topic. So starting off with finances. Personally, everyone's financial situation is different and everyone has a different tolerance of what they're comfortable with in their savings account, in different investments. You know, everyone's financial situation is unique to themselves and everyone has a different level of risk tolerance when it comes to finances. Me personally, I would like to have a full year of emergency savings for myself and my bills before I bring baby into the world. And I'm happy to say we have that. In addition to retirement and making sure I'm saving for retirement and other investments, that's a whole separate topic. And that is not the funds that I'm talking about for myself in a reserve. I also really would like to have a full year of daycare saved prior to baby getting here. In the event something happens, in the event I lose my job, God forbid, I want to know that myself and my child are taken care of for a full year. Again, this is just me. I'm not saying this is what you have to do. The other piece that also layers in, if I am back in a sales management role, I am a salaried employee. So my maternity leave benefits look completely different than if I am in sales on 100% commission as my earning potential. Now, the benefit of me being in sales is I do have a higher earning potential than I do as a sales manager. But there's a work-life balance piece as well, which we'll get to in the next kind of topic. So in Maryland, short-term disability provides 80% of my salary if I am a salaried employee. So as a manager, I would be 100% able to pay my bills on that 80% of my salary for my short-term disability and maternity leave. My company only has 2 weeks paid. That's it. I know I have some followers from overseas, so your maternity leave benefits are so much better than ours here in the States, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. Now, if I'm in sales and I'm 100% commission for my earning potential, my short-term disability is only $1,500 a month, which I don't know if anyone can, but I certainly cannot pay all of my bills and feed myself on $1,500 a month, let alone bring a child into this world. So in the event that I see myself still in sales just based on opportunities, not being willing to relocate, if I'm still in sales when I plan to deliver the baby, I would like to have at least 3 months additional saved for reserves to take care of myself and my child during my maternity leave and not be stressed. Then going into, so that's kind of finances prior to me bringing baby into this world. Also, throughout my pregnancy, I have nurseries to set up, I have baby products to buy, and I'll obviously have a baby shower, and things like that. But there's a lot of expenses that come with baby. So I want to make sure that I have all of that paid for and those reserves set aside before baby comes. Now, in terms of logistics with a delivery as of today, as I see it. Now, obviously I'm not pregnant right now, and this could all change so much. But with my family being in Maine, I see myself using a doula here for my delivery, just to have somebody to be supportive, be my advocate in the event my mom's not able to be here. And I just think having that unbiased person that's looking out solely for me, that's knowledgeable on what's going on in the room is exactly what I need in that setting. If my mom is not able to be here, my best friend will likely be in the delivery room with me at that time. She already knows it. We've had this conversation. But that's kind of what I see looking like from a delivery standpoint, doing this on my own. When I come home, I would love in a perfect world to, again, have a night nurse or doula kind of come and help out. My family will come down to support me as well, but any additional help that I can afford at that time would be so greatly appreciated. Just, delivery is a lot on your body, and then not necessarily having a spouse to do that with or help with anything. My mom and my dad will probably come down for a visit, and then also a doula. Now, in terms of childcare, when I go back to work, so I would have 12 weeks off between my maternity leave and my short-term disability for my job. I would have 12 weeks off. When I go back to work, it really is all going to depend on if I am in my sales role currently or if I am back into a management position. In a perfect world, I will be back in a management position. And at that point, I'll be working Monday through Friday. I am looking, and I have already looked at childcare opportunities, and a traditional daycare center is probably my choice. And the reason I say that, I know everyone has an opinion on this, but for me, doing this solo, I feel like socialization will be better for my child, 1. 2, it is a Monday through Friday schedule that is somewhat extended hours and also a lot more reliable for me than like at home daycare. If they're on vacation, if someone gets sick, same thing with a nanny. They always have staff there and you know that they will be open, especially not having family here. You know, if I had my family here, then I might be open to other opportunities because, you know, if my daycare provider is on vacation, my mom could step in and help for a week. I could take some days off of work. But with my schedule and not having family, I just need something that's so reliable, that has better hours, that I can just rely on, even though it is very expensive here in Maryland. Daycare costs in Maryland for the two that I was looking at are about $36,000 a year, which is absolutely insane. But that's why I would like to have a full year of daycare saved, just because you never know what's going to happen, and it would just give me peace of mind in that sense. Now, if I'm still in a sales role, then I am off Thursdays and Fridays as of right now. It could be Tuesday, Wednesdays. It could be Thursday, Fridays. There does have to be some level of flexibility with me on which of those 2 days I have off. Just depends on where I'm working at that given time. So my schedule can change. I have to work weekends. And in that sense, I've toyed around with a few different options. I would obviously need to get a lot more information and interview a lot of people prior to baby coming, but I've thought about a nanny. The challenge with the nanny is you're relying on one person to always be on time and not get sick, and then you have vacations to worry about, and nannies are very expensive. A nanny share may or may not work just based on the flexibility of the schedule and needing weekends. I've also considered an au pair, and this is one that I am, from a cost standpoint, is very appealing. I mean, you're paying for room and board, but I already have the space in my home to have someone else here. But it's more so just having someone in my space and making sure that I have the right fit for that. The flexibility of the hours is definitely a benefit for me on that, especially working weekends. My third option, which is my most expensive option probably, is doing a traditional daycare center to have that consistency, but then also supplementing that with a nanny on the weekends. So super expensive, paying for childcare 7 days a week, solo. But the benefit of me being back in sales is I do have a higher earning potential, and it may still be feasible, thank God. Now, the other benefit of that is if for some reason something comes up on one of my days off that I need to do or want to do or need a half a day to myself to get some stuff done, I have that childcare already paid for and already planned for. So that is the added benefit of that option as well. Now, as things get a little bit closer, like I said, everything's on pause. I'm not even pregnant at this point. I can explore these options a little bit further, but I will be going back to work in 3 months after delivering. I would love to say my family will move down, but I can't guarantee that. And I need to be able to rely on consistent childcare. And a daycare center is honestly my best bet, I think, for me personally. But if anyone has any experience with au pairs or nannies or working weekends and off schedules, please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I'll take any help that I can get or any resources that you're willing to share. It's definitely the biggest concern of mine right now with still being in sales. There's parts of me that really just wants to jump in and say whatever is meant to be will be. There's no guarantee that a transfer will work on the first cycle. And so I want to prepare for that. And I just want to get on with my life. I'm tired of putting things on pause, waiting to see what happens with my career. I've done that the majority of my life, and I really would like to just get on with living it and bringing little baby into this world and having my bigger sense of purpose of being a mom fulfilled. And that's really what I would like. In a perfect world, October sounds like the most perfect way. The savings will be exactly where I want it to be. You know, I'll be in a great financial position. I hope to have more information on work, whether there's a management position opening up, or if I'm staying in sales, or if I need to relocate. So I think I'll have more clarity on my work situation in October. But I also think that October feels like so far away. And I know it's only 6 months, and time flies. I cannot believe we're already in March. But I really also just want to get started with the process. So I'm excited because I do have a meeting with my fertility doctor tomorrow. It is a new doctor since my last doctor retired. If you followed me along through this journey, you'll know that I didn't love my last doctor. So I'm very anxious to meet with her. If for some reason, in some way, I'm able to avoid progesterone shots and just use suppositories throughout this process, I will be so happy. So I'm talking to her about transfer protocols tomorrow and just kind of timing of everything. I think the earliest that I would possibly get started is the beginning of May or the end of May. If not that, then it would probably be in the fall, but we're taking everything one day at a time. I know this video was kind of long and a little bit of a rant, and hopefully not too all over the place. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear how you all are working it out as single moms by choice, if you are on this path and this journey, or what ideas you have. If there's any other questions you have or any other content you want to see, let me know in the comment section down below. I am planning to film some additional videos on the transfer protocols after my meeting tomorrow, and then also baby names. So stay tuned for those. Talk to you soon.